Hi, thanks for watching Garage in Stock. I'm David Pingree. I'm here with Steve Matthes with a special project. It's a 1988 YZ250. Steve bought this thing, or got this thing in a crate, beat up, looking like it had been around for a long time, and he dialed it in. So, Steve, tell us a little bit about how this thing came together and some of the things you've done to it.
Well, I'm not quite busy enough, so I figured why not take on a project bike. I did something similar to this with 1990 Kawasaki KX250 that Jeff Chicken Matasevich rode last year. So with the help of a guy named Oliver in Alaska, I got this bike, figured to make a nice little project bike, get me away from the laptop, and sunk a couple grand into it, and here we go.
So it's obviously a Micky Dymond replica. Anybody that's grew up in the 80s or 90s recognizes the number 6 and this bike. I have never ridden a two-stroke from this era, this Yamaha in particular, so I'm excited. I just rode the 2016 YZ250, so I'm anxious to see those comparisons. We're going to have Micky Dymond out. He's going to ride it, kind of compare it to his race bike back then that was this exact machine. Tell us some of the parts and pieces in particular on here you had to hunt for and do some cool things to get them dialed in and renewed. Some of these things are hard to find.
Yeah, it's not exactly right back to stock. I'm not one of those guys that does that, but a couple of things that I thought was pretty cool. JGR made me a carbon rear caliper guard. That was kind of neat. The stock one was aluminum. John Anderson at Dubya USA found a place to coat the hubs and the clamps to look magnesium. They're not magnesium, but they look it. So I thought that was kind of a nice little touch. And then Ron Heben, who worked for Micky Dymond in 1988, fashioned some numbers that were quite radical for the time being, and he actually had the original template still in his garage. So he gave me that, hence the number 6 that looks kind of funky, and those are the exact same numbers that Micky ran.
That's cool. He probably designed those when he was doing drugs with the Motley Crue guys or something. Who knows?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so we're going to go out and get this thing on the track. We're going to see what Micky thinks, and we'll get back to you with some feedback. All right, we both got some time on this machine, and Mick, is it just like going back to Anaheim '88?
Maybe not like Back to the Future, but it had like little moments where it kind of felt like deja vu, I guess. Yeah, it feels pretty good actually.
Yeah, I was surprised. My feeling was just I couldn't believe how small the cockpit was. The bars to the seat to the foot pegs. It was a very small rider compartment. Do you remember that from that era?
You know, I don't know really what I remember from it. I remember I had a lot of struggles with this bike, but also I love the bike. The motor still feels great, you know, it's still pretty sporty motor, and Steve did a great job with the bike rebuilding it. I think handles pretty good. If anything, it feels a little better than I remember it.
You know what? The Race Tech guys did a great job because the suspension, I was shocked. I thought that would be the worst part of it, and it actually handled really well. But I did walk past Wardy over here on the way to the track, and he says, man, that bike doesn't look very fast.
Oh, really? Is he over here?
Yeah.
Yeah, the new bikes are so much different and torquier and easier to ride that it makes it seem like, man, it was, you know, I rode by the Supercross track and just couldn't imagine riding it out there, but we did, and they were at their time the top of the heap. So.
Well, I know after riding the 2016 YZ250 out here just a month ago, it's pretty incredible how far they've come with the engine package, the brakes, the suspension, the whole entire chassis. Really amazing how far they've come. In terms of this bike versus your 88 race bike, still quite a bit of difference, I imagine.
I think so. I mean, I remember our bikes were a little crisper and a little sharper than standard bikes, and this being a very good remake of a standard bike, I know that ours had special parts and we made a lot more horsepower. So, it is still like a little flash from the past that feels pretty good, but man, you're right. The bikes have come a long way in the last 15 or so years. It's pretty incredible, really.
Well, it's cool to see this old gear. I'm sure a lot of guys saw that and got taken back. Thanks to the Answer guys for busting that out. Great job, Steve. This bike came out great. Thanks for watching.